Petch, great
I've
to have
been
you.
enjoying the chat. You kept me entertained.
Well, it is great to have you with us, and you loved everything you saw on centre court, but Barty's been impressive, hasn't she?
She's been incredibly impressive. She's been impressive all summer, of course. Won the title in Adelaide, as you say. She's only been on court under 2 hours here. And just a quick recap, obviously, that was what we had on the Rod Laver. Always great to see Rafa, former champion, former world number one, current world number one. And well, for Bronzetti, she came away with the silver today, unfortunately for her. And let's just see how that transpired physically, because I think this will be interesting for you at home here. We've got a lot of data here that we love to use, and this is our gig data here, and it talks about work rate. This is kind of your loading, your turning, your overall data with your distance that you've run. So there's a lot that goes into that. It's pretty easy. No surprise, Bronzetti did a little bit more running. Ash's forehand made sure of that. Ash, with a little bit more pace on that shot as well, has to load a little bit more. This hitting load is when you hit the shot at about 100 Ks. Everything 100 Ks and up goes into this number here. So you can see Ash with just a little bit more firepower. But the rest of it is very similar, isn't it? So physically, not a huge difference. So what was the difference when you win 1-on-1? Well, tennis ultimately is still very much a skills-based sport, and Ash Barty has some of the sharpest of those skills, not least her serve. Let's take a look at her first serve placement in 2022. We know it's good, we know it's got a lot of variety, but one thing that perhaps you don't notice enough about Ash's serve at times, because you're looking and getting seduced by the aces, is the body serves. Look at this. This is military precision here from Ash Barty into the body. So she has you guessing out wide down the tee, and then suddenly she just jammed you right in the middle and she doesn't miss it. Accuracy was off the charts. This is Roger Federer style numbers. 72% within 2 feet of the line on the deuce. 68%, trust me on this, that's Federer-like numbers. 45% of those unreturned from Ash at the moment. 63% of the points won by the fourth shot. That's the serve, the return, and then Ash's +1. Point done. 63% of them going the Australian way. You need a hitter hard and early, very quick off the return, or to extend it. I talked about Roger Federer. She's producing John Isner style numbers on consecutive holds. Look at that, 49 since she lost her serve against Coco Gauff and turned that match around. It has been an absolutely impenetrable force. In terms of what she does after a serve, I think that's very interesting to have a look at as well. The serve in isolation is great, but what she does afterwards is good. Great depth on her +1 shot. This is her shot after a serve. Good depth, keeping her opponent back. You can't hurt Ash from back there. She moves too well, uses a slice. But this is the area I really want you to focus on, this middle section, because you might think, well, looking at that, well, that's quite linear, Mark. That's quite short. Surely the opponents can do something. Well, that's the reality, is very different. Ash from here is going to either slice a backhand, or if she gets your return on her forehand, she's got the capability to go inside out. So she's going to move you and get you outside the singles court straight away. But the other area I really want you, because we do look at Ash's slice a lot, is this area here, just in here, because what you're going to see now coming up is Ash's magnificent forehand that bends like this, and again, just like the slice, will intersect on that singles line and take your opponent out. There was a couple of gorgeous examples of that from her today in the match, where she literally just takes the racket out of the opponent. This is middle of the court. Middle of the court. You know how at home, if you play tennis, how difficult is that just to hit a clean winner. Here's Ash with a slightly different foot pattern. She closes it so she can hook it a little bit more. If she doesn't hit the winner, she's going to be able to just mop up with the next shot. That shot there does not lose anything through the bounce as well. So for the opponent who's trying to track it down, they get further and further away from the court. We went back and had a look at 2021. How do you beat Ash Barty? I know the Australians don't want that to happen, but it did happen last year. Mukova obviously here in Australia. That was a tough loss for her, obviously. Badosa, big hitter in Charleston. Daniel Collins, massive hitter. Sabalenka, we know how big she can hit the ball. Couple of retirements here. Coco Gauff, obviously a big hitter. Shelby Rogers was truly magnificent in York. She didn't play a bad match there. You got to hit her hard, as I say. You got to hit her fast, and those are the players that kind of trouble her. This is a bit of an outlier here. Sorribes Tormo. Josh Eagle hits the ball maybe just a bit softer. Maybe.
Mark, excellent touchscreen. I've got to say, when I was coaching Sam Stosur, they played each other in Miami, and that was the messaging, and that's what Sam wanted to do. Absolutely. Hit the ball hard and fast, but you can't underestimate the athletic ability. She's hard to actually dislodge from the baseline.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's where the slice helps her as well. It's, you know, you can get oxygen. It doesn't take much out of you, but it's a short shot, isn't it? And so you can hug the baseline, and trying to get round her with her movement is very difficult as well. It's a complicated thing. You don't sit at world number one without having a few problems that your opponents can't solve.
And I must say, the serve stats, I love all the serve stats, but what is underrated is the ball toss. It's when you return Ash Barty's serve, it's so hard to pick where she's serving. It's got great disguise. It's in the same place. So I think it's something that is really hard to see is just where she's actually serving.
Yeah, I mean, 49 consecutive service holds. I mean, that is just something else. I mean, we just don't normally see that. So as you say, it's a drift. It cuts. It goes flat. And I think for the returners right now, she's got tougher tests ahead. Let's be honest, Osaka in the fourth.
Yeah.
You know, but she's making her way through nicely.
Yeah, absolutely. Mike Petchy, I feel like I've got a degree in Ash Barty now. Well done.
I got a degree in Queensland. In fact, that was the only time I coached somebody to a WTA title. So does that make me a...
You're a Queensland.
Can I come in?
You can be an honorary Queenslander, and
thank
it's
you.
God's country. Come up there anytime.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Professor Petchy. We'll see you soon.
See you. You can be an honorary Queenslander, and it's God's country. Come up there anytime. Thank you so much, Professor Petchy. We'll see you soon. See you. We have a huge